Okay, so here we are, and this is one of my first games, or ranked games on Heart of the Swarm. Let's get that production tab open. Okay, spawning in the top right is going to be me, Tomaki, and spawning in the bottom left there's going to be our blue Terran, Mr. Korean. And this is the first of a bunch of games where I'm playing Terran. Most of them in Wings of Liberty, this is the first in HOTS. And I basically wanted to try something out. My theory was that if I rushed out 2 fours early, I could take a small bit of bio and half of my SCVs and just all in and win against a fast expanding Terran, so fingers crossed it's fast expanding. If he hadn't, then I don't know, it would have been a different story. I've got to really stop spoiling the outcome of these. Anyway, so I'm building mine. Now, I kind of built mine so I could deny scouting, because that'd be a big thing for me. If he could see that I was getting that fast factory and fast armory, it would tip him off, I would have thought. However, he seems to maximising on mining time by placing it close. Yeah. It's a funky new build. I got gas at 13 because I wanted, obviously, to have that factory up. That was an important thing for me, and while I was getting gas and building my first barracks, he was indeed going to expand first. So he's really open to any form of early pressure. If I had 2 racks to him, he'd be dead. And he did no scouting either, so go figure. Now I think I'd be pretty safe from 2 racks pressure, because I'd just stick down a bunker and repair, and in the back of it get my factory up. Maybe stick another barracks down. Whatever is required to hold. I think my build is pretty safe for that. This was inspired by a couple of things I'd seen where people had gone for sort of one base sort of end game composition units. I hope you also appreciate it. Turn my sound down a bit, like since last time, because I realised I was being drowned out. Not that my commentary is mostly important. I'm going to speed it up a bit, because nothing's really happening. There we are. Yeah, so I'm just throwing down my batter from my factory, and as soon as I do that, I'll get my armory out and tech labs going down. Meanwhile, he's only building his first barracks and following that up with a factory too. Again, just have to worry so much about building supply depots right now, because he does have this second command center, or orbital command. So yeah, he's able to churn out twice the amount of mules, twice the amount of OP right now. And I believe we see a starport going down. Yeah, so basically he's going what seems like a 2-base 1-1-1. In all honesty, I think he might have just been bad. He's putting a reactor on there. I didn't see any Hellions, so what I can only assume that is that he's going to swap that back out over and double production on medevacs, which is good for me because 4s actually have a new attack that I didn't actually use, I'm going to be honest, where they're better at targeting single air units. What the 4 does have going for it is a pretty good range. As you can see, it's units. He's sitting at 33 SCVs to my 22, and yeah, his supply is much larger because he's gone for this fast expand style. He can afford to macro. I don't have a huge amount of production facilities. My goal was just to get 2 4s out and a little bit of bio to act, if I'm to be honest, as a retard magnet. It's not meant to do any damage, it's meant to draw the fire away from the 4s so they can do massive damage or as is the mantra of StarCraft, and here I was hiding away in the corner, but as is the mantra of StarCraft, terrible, terrible damage. Yeah, he had scanned my main base and he knew that I had this tech, so I could assume he thought I had fours. Ah, I see. He first got a Banshee out. That's a interesting move. Quite a clever one too, because my army then is fairly slow, so we got in the production tab. Yeah, so I'm just getting some extra shields for my Marines, so they just act as a retard magnet for a bit longer. And now here's the configuration. This army of, 16 units is all I send out to kill what is going to be here at the time, and I'm really surprised about it is he has Siege Tank nearly finishing. There's no reason he shouldn't have been sieged up, and it would have held. He would have taken out my SCVs that were repairing my 4 a lot easier. Hey ho. Right, now we're setting up so that the SCVs don't get in on the fight, because then my 4s would die a lot quicker. And the idea is that these guys here are powering the 4s, and I can afford to repair on them. To be fair, I could have pulled them all because I was floating enough minerals. And here, he should have sieged up and didn't. Let's see this fight go down. It looks for a while as if he's going to win, but I do in fact have 5 SCVs still repairing and keeping these alive. Once I focus down that tank, there's very little doing a lot of damage. Here we are. These guys just having some sort of party, and he can't take it. Mr. Korean is looking pretty Mr. America right now. Anyway, that was my first game I've casted on Heart of the Swarm. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, let's make this part of the new metagame. Right, see you all, thanks, bye.